I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, let's do a quick market recap or market update for winter 2021. We're now January, moving now into February here. So I'll just give you an early kind of recap of where the market's at right now. To keep it in a nutshell, currently there are far more buyers than there are sellers. That's how I would summarize this current market. Limited inventory, a lot of buyers, a lot of qualified buyers out there. Some have been in the market looking for quite some time. We are in a seller's market across the board. Anyone that tells you anything other than that, because I do see things on Twitter and people talking in Twitter, it's fake. It's fake news you're listening to there. Sales to active listings ratio, which is a nice clean stat to look at, gives you just a snapshot. There's no massaging of numbers or anything there, like so many of these guys that would try and point to a market crash coming will use. Is well above 28, even upwards of 40 on detached. Anything above 20 is a seller's market. So condos, duplexes, townhomes, detached, all in a strong seller's market. So I can tell you firsthand, December, as you saw here, the stats came out a while back, was a all-time record-breaking month for December for the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board. Broke all records for sales volume, units, homes sold, everything. It was a record-breaking December for me. I had 4 sales in December. Now that's normally my absolute slowest month. A lot of times I'm not even around in December. This is actually the first December in about 7 or 8 years that I've even been around. I usually leave for Hawaii around the 7th of December and come back after New Year's. So I might be lucky to do 1 sale in December usually. This year I had 4, and that was the way it was for a lot of realtors. Can't go anywhere, may as well stay and sell some homes. I normally don't list anything in December. This year I listed 3 homes in December. I usually wait until after the new year. But I did sandbag a lot of listings too that I've been rolling out now starting in the first week in January. I'm going to be listing 1 or 2 homes every week here for the next probably couple of months. And I can tell you that I'm not sure when I'm going to post this. Most of them have already sold. All the homes I listed in December I sold right away. What I'm doing now, whether it's a townhouse or a detached house or a condo, I'm doing holdbacks on everything now because, again, I'm finding that there are more buyers than there are sellers. There's not a lot of competition. I'm starting to move my pricing up, inching it up every month here again. Doing holdbacks, which pretty much I always do anyways. What that means is I list the home usually on a Monday or Tuesday, and I expose it and show it for at least 7 or 8 days. And then look at offers. You want to get, and that's the way your realtor should be working too when you list your house. Never list it and take an offer in a day or 2. You could. Many of the listings I've had, especially some of my good condos, I probably could have taken an offer on them within 1 or 2 days. But you always want to get it out there for at least a week. Give plenty of time for all the buyers to look at it, size it up. You should at least have some weekend showings and then look at offers the following week. So overall, as of winter 2021 right now, market is extremely strong. It's a seller's market, and I would probably expect that to continue for the foreseeable future here, at least into the spring, unless something changes dramatically. Now, you never know with COVID, and we're heading into it. We are probably already now in a recession, but interest rates are staying low, and they are going to stay low for at least another couple more years. The Bank of Canada, I think, has already stated that they're going to keep rates where they are for at least another couple of years. I've got clients telling me now that they're able to lock in 3-year fixed term rates at like 1.5, 1.6%, which is incredible. And that's really what's driving it. The other thing, of course, I've talked about this since the spring. When COVID first hit, there was, of course, a lot of people saying this is going to put the nail in the coffin to the Vancouver real estate market, as well as the equity markets, the stock markets. But if you go back there, I was saying that, not so fast, because unfortunately, COVID has hit the income earners in the lower end of the income scale. It's 9 to 5 workers, a lot of hospitality people, earning under $60,000 or $70,000 a year. They were the hardest hit, and I feel for these people. I sure hope we can get these vaccines rolled out and get our economy back going again. But as I said back then, those people were not home buyers. They never have been home buyers in Vancouver. As a matter of fact, they're barely even home buyers in the Fraser Valley with their prices now. And same thing in the financial markets. You know, the typical person that was hit hard with COVID and lost their job, they weren't buying stocks. They were barely making ends meet, unfortunately. So, you know, this COVID thing, of course, you've been reading the newspapers, you know, it's really been a nail in the coffin to the lower rungs of the economic ladder here. They've been the hardest hit. So, and of course, you know, there's been a flight to tangible assets with COVID, real estate probably being one of the best. So we'll see where this goes moving forward. December was an incredibly strong month for 2020 to end the year. I think January 2021 is going to be another incredibly big month. The story is going to be, again, more buyers than there are sellers. I think we're going to start to see, on detached, we're already seeing, and have been for a long time, multiple offers. I'm starting to see early signs of that on a lot of the good condos now as well, getting 2, 3, 4 offers. I actually was in a bidding war in late December on a condo that we lost out on. So we might see more of that as well. My advice to someone, because I get people all the time, well, gee, the market's hot. You know, should I be buying? Should I wait? You guys know, if you've been watching my blog, you know, the best time to buy your principal residence was yesterday. The second best time is today. Don't try and time a market. I don't know what it's going to do in the short term, but if you buy your principal residence today, get off that renter treadmill, because there's no alternative. There's no utopia here. You either own your principal residence or you're renting. Now, if you're living at home for free, then you've got a little more leeway here. But even there, I say once you're approved, once you're qualified for the mortgage, which is not easy, and it's only getting tougher as well. Qualifying for a mortgage isn't going to be any easier 2 years from now. It'll probably be even more difficult with more layers of restriction in there. It gets tougher every year to get a mortgage. So I'm under the belief once you're qualified, you're in, especially if you're renting. But if you really want to time a market, for instance, you know, the detached market is just crazy right now. Very little for sale. Everything's multiple offers, record-setting prices. I can understand someone that might want to wait a year or two and see what the market does. If you do, that's fine. I wish you luck with it. But I'm under the belief that why try and time a market on your principal residence? Get qualified, lock in a 1.6% interest rate and buy and never look back. But I totally understand people that want to wait for a better window. Maybe it'll work out for you, but the odds are stacked against you that they're not, especially if you've got to rent for another 2 or 3 more years before you pull the trigger. And go back and watch my mini blogs on why timing a market is pretty futile. Very difficult to pull the trigger when you do finally get that correction, because it'll come. The detached market right now, which is still red hot, white hot, it'll cool. I mean, it was out of favor 2 or 3 years ago. I did my blog here a lot earlier in December, how this rotation has happened. A couple of years ago, I had some incredible detached homes that I wasn't even getting phone calls on for weeks. But markets go in those cycles. They rotate. One couple of years they're hot, and then they go out of favor for a while. That'll happen. The thing is, though, we don't know how much higher the prices will go before it starts to cool. And if you're renting it, paying $2,000 or $3,000 a month, that's lost money. But again, I totally understand why some people might want to wait for a better opportunity. It's your call. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.